You're watching SBoyTV.
All right, so who we got on the backdrop right now, man? Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
We got YSKMJ, aka Mr. Hollywood.
Okay. You got to break that name down. There's a lot of letters in there.
All right, so YSKMJ, that stands for You Should Know MJ. And then Mr. Hollywood, that's just the name that I got when I went to Cali, and I got so much love, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I belong for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Hollywood. I like that. You say you should know MJ?
You should know MJ.
So why should people know MJ?
Cause I'm me. I'm different. I'm bringing more to the table. So it's like, why not?
Okay. All right, we're going to get into all of that, okay? All right, we want to start at the beginning, man. So what was life like growing up for you this far? Because you still young, man. So.
Right, yeah. So like, most people from Detroit got a story of I was struggling, whoop-de-whoop, but it's not really like that for me. I've always had a good life, but my struggle was trying to figure out what did I want to do because I had so many options and people wanted to pressure me into doing things and stuff like that. It was like, I'm not really feeling that. So my biggest goal was to find what was best for me, and that's just what it's been since then.
Wow. I kind of resonate with that a lot. Like
Sure.
that pressure being pushed in so many other areas and it's just not for you. So what would that, like, kind of go in more of that? Like, what was that like? What was that process like? Like, how did you overcome that?
So first I was, you ain't gonna believe it, but I was a dancer at first. And like I danced in church, I danced with groups, but I just felt like it wasn't for me. So then I switched on to singing. And that's when I got introduced to the Detroit Youth Choir. And from then on, like I just found a passion in singing and just music, period. And once my cousin had passed away, he was a rapper. His name was IU Tizzle. He kind of pushed me to be like, okay, yeah, this is that time to really start rapping. Because I've always been writing, I've always been rapping, I just never took it serious. So once he passed away, I'm like, okay, I gotta really do something. I gotta start this career off because why not? I'm wasting my time if I don't. So I feel like my rapping career and my singing career has been going hand in hand with me having my own career and with me being in the Detroit Youth Choir.
Okay. That's dope, man. I'm glad you was able to use that pain and turn it into triumph, you know? Okay, so Tizzle, right?
Yeah.
What does he remember you as? So he was just dancing by the time he passed?
So I was always young around them. So I was never out my shell. He knew that I wrote because I told him millions of times, but I never really took it serious. So he never got the chance to see me doing what I'm doing now. But I do know he up there looking at me, doing my thing, and I feel like he living through me for real.
Yeah, that's real. That's I like to hear that, man. So it's crazy because I didn't know that you sung too. Like, I thought it was just rap, man. Then I checked you out.
Sure.
And I sing like, wait, this guy sings too. And then hearing dance, like, no, that's a lot. So which one do you think you better at? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna have to say rapping because
Okay.
it flows. I've been doing it for my whole life. It just flows. I ain't gotta do nothing extra. All I do is just come in, write, green.
Okay. So you still write?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you good at freestyling too?
And that's crazy because look, I can write my ass off, but freestyling, I don't know. I just can't do it. Like I don't know why. Now I will say, like, if I'm more in a chill mode and I'm with people and we just vibing, then I throw a couple bars out there. But like
I got
on
you.
the spot, nah.
I got you. I feel it. So it's funny because it really is a gift to
Yeah,
have it. Because some people honestly could just freestyle. They're not really good at writing. So it's like, it's weird. It's really weird. But I'm a writer too, so I definitely feel it, man. So Detroit Youth Choir, right?
yeah.
What was that like? How did you get into it?
So I would say this was the beginning of 2020, right before COVID hit everything, and my pops had introduced me to them. I went to the auditions, I did my thing, and I talked to Mr. White, and he actually told me during that time I was on a no callback list. They wasn't supposed to be calling me back, but he told them he see something, bring him in. So I came in, I was off the rip, like one of the best people that was coming into Detroit Youth Choir. Things started getting better, but then that's when COVID hit and it locked everything down. I lost confidence, all of that. But then we started doing more. I started gaining more confidence, and ever since then, I've been on the top of the charts, and I just been doing my thing.
Yeah.
For real.
So how did that feel to have Mr. White believe in you like that?
It felt great because I didn't even believe in myself at that moment. I was just going there because my pops told me I should. I didn't have the confidence at all because around the time, like I said, I was never really taking it serious, so I didn't have that confidence. So with him believing in me and not even believing in myself, that kind of brought more of some confidence inside of me.
Okay. That's dope, man. Wow. That's amazing. So to me, being in Detroit requires like being a celebrity. So
Yeah,
like how do
for
you
real.
stay humble?
Just remember where I came from,
Mm.
because a lot of people don't have this opportunity. A lot of people came up with a struggle, a huge struggle, especially living in Detroit. So I just remember where I came from and remember that this spot can get taken at any given moment.
Yeah.
This spot is not guaranteed. I'm not the top person in the world. So it's like you got to keep working for what you want. You got to stay humble at all times.
Yeah. So how do you guys do? Because there's so much talent, and with a lot of talent being young, it could be a lot of emotions, a lot of
Definitely.
jealousy, all that. How do y'all kind of manage that? Do y'all do like a lot of team building? Like,
So what's crazy is we don't even do team building like that. I feel like our performances and our time on the road is that team building because we look at each other as family. So when we go on the road, we share rooms, all of that. It's just a lot of communication within each other. Communication is definitely big in Detroit Youth Choir because it's a lot going on at one time. So we got to make sure we all on the same page, and I feel like that just brings us together. Period.
that's dope. So y'all got like a group chat? Y'all just like y'all got a dope group chat?
Multiple.
Okay, I got you.
Multiple.
Yeah, that's dope. That's the team building right there.
Yeah,
Ain't
for
nothing like
sure.
a good, nice, solid group chat
Yeah.
that you can just always tap in and share different things with. So that's cool. Okay, so what would you say? Because y'all done a lot, man. I really don't even know where to start on how much y'all done, man. What would you say is the most memorable one for you?
The most memorable one is probably when we went to Florida. We performed for Decca.
Mhm.
And most people would think it would be AGT, America's Got Talent, because that was our big moment. That was the one that brought us through the gates. But I feel like Florida, it was different. Like it was really emotional. We had to put a lot of work in, and that crowd was huge. Like it was bigger than AGT's.
Yeah.
It was like 30,000 people in there, and I had my own shine rapping and stuff like that, and it was just like a good moment. And it was a surreal moment. I remember we walked out of the performance arena, and every single last person that was watching us was trying to get towards us to say hey. And I'm like, yo, I got a whole video of it. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And that's where it comes back to that celebrity moment. Like, I be feeling like I am a celebrity for real.
Yeah.
But it's a good moment. Just spending any time with them for real, for real.
Yeah. So America's Got Talent, right?
Yeah.
Because that's probably the one that the most of the people is like really got to know who y'all
Yeah.
were. What was that like? Was you nervous?
So, the crazy thing is, I wasn't even there. So the first time they went, I wasn't in Detroit Youth Choir then. I had joined afterwards. And then the second time they went for All Stars, I had left the Detroit Youth Choir. And I missed out on that moment. And that kind of humbled me, like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Don't, because you wasting time. What you doing?
Yeah.
You could have had your moment right there, but you left. But I still do get the feedback from America's Got Talent. Like, we still be having performances that is rooted from AGT.
Yeah.
So it's like I still get the feelings and stuff like that. And also with our Disney Plus show, that is something really big because it's like they didn't caught footage from 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and it's like, bro, that was a youngin'. But it's a surreal moment because growing up, I always wanted to be on Disney.
Who didn't?
That's a childhood dream.
Yes.
So to see that come true, it's like, yeah, I'm here now.
That's dope. Mr. Hollywood for real.
Mr. Hollywood for real.
All right, so now I think you even said it in one of your records. You said Voice of the Youth, or was it Leader
Voice of the Youth.
Voice of the Youth.
Yes.
So that's pressure.
Yeah.
That's pressure. Is it pressure to be perfect?
No, it's not actually because anybody that knows me know I don't push to be perfect because
Mhm.
nobody's perfect. Everybody had their own flaws. Everybody had their own mistakes that they overcome. But my mission is just to inspire the people that surround me, the youth, even adults. I don't believe in just because you're adults you can't take advice from a kid
Mm.
because that's not true. I know stuff that you may not know,
Yeah.
and you know stuff that I may not know. So we can work together. So that's why I call myself the voice of the youth, the leader of the youth, because I feel like I got a lot to bring to the table, even just for my music. I don't bring that Detroit type of style, and I live in Detroit. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that because I can definitely hop on that.
Right.
But I would rather bring something positive, bring something that's motivating the youth and motivating my peers to do better and reach for their goals.
So that's rare. What you just shared. Everything you just shared is rare.
For sure.
And I do think a lot of people might have those feelings, like they feel that way, but it's still not accepted here. So, with you being able to stand in that, where do you think that come from? Is your parents that they heavily push that in you to be yourself? Where does this stem from?
I believe my parents did push it inside of me, but I feel like it was also already instilled in me, like from a youth. Like I've always been the one to want to inspire and be the leader. And that was just something that I created on my own. Once I created Mr. Hollywood, I'm like, okay, now I got the platform to really do what I want to do things that other youth don't really do.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they be scared. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be scared because it was a point in time where I was scared because you never know what feedback you're gonna get, especially living in Detroit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Yeah.
But I told myself, even with all of that, I'm gonna overcome it. I'm gonna still put that message out, regardless of what type of feedback I get, regardless of who mess with me or who not. Somebody's gonna hear that message and gonna be like, dang, that just motivated me. That just inspired me.
Yeah.
So as long as I keep that in my mind, I can keep going.
Man, you own it, bro.
Sure.
So how do you balance school with all of this? It's getting real now. It's getting real now.
That's a tough one. I can't even sit here and lie. I still haven't balanced it. It's an ongoing journey for sure. But I do use my resources. Like DYC, they help out. They got homework help, all of that. And I also use my resources with my family, people who've been in my position before that knows how I feel to have a career and have a schooling life at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's still an ongoing journey for sure. But this is my senior year, so I plan on getting that together and hopefully I'll be straight.
Right. You got to get it together. You the OG in the school now, so
Yeah,
you got to
for
get
sure.
it together now. All right, so I seen you pull a prank on your friends about stopping music, right? That was crazy. They
Yeah,
faced it
man.
like the silence was beast. Like they just got silent, like
Yeah.
just for a minute, man. So, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music? Because I just feel like it's just in you to just do music. It's just on you, bro. Like,
So that's a scary question because I've had thoughts about quitting music before. Like even though that was a prank,
Mm.
it was at one point in time where that was a true statement.
Mm.
And I had to realize like one of my boys said, everything that I do right now is built off of my music passion.
Mhm.
I do photography, I do videography, I have my own brand, but it's still rooted from my music, and that passion that I got from my music drives me to do every other thing that I do. So I would still have a career doing videography, photography, but I feel like I just wouldn't be where I am today
Oh, that
just
music.
because of the fact I have so much passion in my music.
Mhm.
And I really don't have no plan B. Like, yeah, like I said, I got photography and stuff like that, but I don't like to look at that as a plan B because once you have a plan B, your mindset kind of alters. If you just have one plan, you put your all into that plan. And I believe if I put my all into this plan, I'm gonna get where I want to get. Simple.
Hey, you on it? That's crazy. I was gonna ask you to give some advice to the youth, but I think you just did. You just did it
Yeah.
right there. You just did
Yeah.
it right there. From the youth to the youth.
If I was to give some advice, I would say just be yourself and stay consistent. Because when you're not yourself, you put yourself in a category that you don't really want to be in. You categorize with everybody else. And if you stay consistent, you're gonna eventually see growth. You're gonna see progress. You just gotta make sure you stay consistent and you don't get knocked off your grind for sure.
Hey, y'all hear him? Y'all hear him?
Y'all hear me?
All right, so what can we expect from you for the rest of this year, man?
Like I said, that Disney Plus is dropping at the end of this year, and I also got an album in the making right now. That should be dropping in December, I would say, right after the Disney Plus show. But that's it for right now. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, man. Let the people know where they can follow you at so they can stay connected with you.
Y'all can follow me on any social platform at The Real YSKMJ.
Yeah. Mr. Hollywood, we out.
We out.